Good morning, it's Jane here from the Cornish Knitter. I thought I'd quickly hop on, give you a short video with an update on what I've been up to. My channel is all about my knitting and stitching journey, but also a little bit about my yarn shop and what we've been up to in the yarn shop as well. And I also talk about sort of my experiences of getting older and how that affects me and my knitting and my sort of choices around fashion and stuff. So welcome to the channel. If you've not been in here before, do like and subscribe. But if you have been before, welcome back. So I think it's been about a month or so since I last recorded, and in truth I've been hugely busy launching a few things for the business. But before I go any further, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to the response to my last video when I talked about my experience on a train, where somebody commented about the way I was dressed and how that sort of affected me irrationally, probably, for the rest of the day. And many of you shared your stories about similar incidents and potentially your outrage that people feel it's okay to comment on other people's appearance in that way. But I think most of us have experienced that, haven't we? And what I learned from your responses was that so many of you thankfully have the confidence to brush it off and think, sod it, I'm going to wear exactly what I want to wear, and nobody's going to influence me. I'm usually pretty good at that, but occasionally, you know, somebody will just get under your skin. Maybe you're feeling a bit vulnerable that day, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those days when you look in the mirror and think, oh my gosh, where has time gone? I don't know why I let it affect me the way I did, but I did, and I gave myself a mental shake and sort of stopped it. I'm not crying generally. I've got terrible hay fever. I've had it for weeks, and rather than it affecting my throat, which it normally does, this year it's really affected my eyes, and they're just stinging all the time and really sore. So I'm constantly crying despite antihistamines, eye drops, all sorts of different stuff to try and combat it. So generally I'm not crying at the moment. And I also liked your response to my knicker story as well, because yeah, it was one of my most embarrassing moments in my entire life. And yeah, I shared it with you in the hope that it would make you have a little giggle, and it seemed to work. So what have I been up to since I last saw you? Work-wise, I launched the Cornish Knitters Flock, which has our new online community. And we had a short opening launch with a early bird subscription sort of rate. It's now closed. It will reopen again in October, but so many of you joined. Thank you for joining, and boy, it's been so vibrant and exciting. So many comments, so much support for each other, and we're starting to sort of get feedback from the people on that sort of flock about what sort of content they want. So we've got technical know-how sort of videos going up, got Fran talking about how to use Ravelry effectively, and also Nikki, who does a lot of patterns, who we work with a lot. She's doing a lot of masterclasses and technical stuff too. So yeah, we've got lots sort of just bubbling away. We've got book club next Friday, where we're going to be talking about the Yarn Whisperer, a book, and also we have our Member of the Month award coming up. So I set our members a challenge to take a photograph of their favourite place to knit, and Friday week we'll be announcing who that Member of the Month is, and they'll get a little prize too. So that's what the flock is all about. It will reopen again in October. I'll tell you more about it when it reopens. It would be lovely if more and more of you could join when we reopen, and by the time we do reopen, it will be sort of vastly improved as well, because the members are sort of helping us build something that we feel really meets your needs. We also had our retreat at Bosville. It's the first time we did a week-long retreat. It was really successful. We were blessed with the most beautiful weather. And Bosville is in Glendurgan, which is on the Helford River, which is just about 10 miles outside of Falmouth. and the manor house is a National Trust property right next to the beach. We had beautiful weather, so our guests could sit outside. They had loads of knitting times, and it was so fantastic to see those friendships blossom over that week. We had some really good laughs, we shared some stories, we supported each other, we had some lovely food, obviously some wine, and it was just an amazing time. I even managed to get a dip, and I did record just a little bit of video. I didn't want to intrude on the guests that were there, so I did record a little bit of video, which I'll pop at the end of this today. Our other retreats we tend to have in Falmouth, in a slightly less grand venue, still really nice, but we're all booked up for this year, but we will be launching all our dates for next year in a few months' time, in a couple of months' time. So if you haven't already and you are interested in joining us on a retreat, do sign up on our webpage. We've got a retreats tab at the top. If you go on there, you can sign up for early bird notification, and you'll get sort of told about it before we publish it, sort of generally. So you get the option to book earlier than other people. But yeah, it was a great time, and yeah, just learned so much and laughed so much. But it was time consuming. You know, people were there for a whole week, and it was lovely. But it was, you know, then the rest of life was going on in the background, so I had to catch up on that. And then I was lucky enough to go away for a long weekend to Spain, to just chill and relax and spend some time in the sun. So just catching up, really. Knitting wise, I didn't personally get a lot of time for knitting. Our guests did, but I didn't get an awful lot of time for knitting, so I haven't finished anything particularly apart from what I'm wearing. So you'll have seen me sort of knitting this up. This is the garden cardigan by Anchor Strict. I've knitted it in and make DK, which has got a little bit of linen in it. I really love how this yarn knitted up, and the pattern was a dream. I really loved the pattern. The back collar I've shown you before has got sort of a V construction. It's got a sort of fake button band without having to put any buttonholes or buttons on it. It's one I will definitely knit again. It's a really simple lace pattern over 4 rows. Yeah, nothing to dislike about it at all. And as I said, the yarn itself, beautifully soft, but with that bit of linen, sort of suitable for any time of year. And I have actually worn this so much, so it will be one that I re-knit again, and probably in the same yarn but in a different colour. So that I did manage to finish, which was good, because other than that I sort of thought, oh, I haven't really done a lot. The Polina pullover, which I've been knitting on, I'm on the last sleeve, but I haven't really done an awful lot, so I didn't want to bore you with bringing that on and just showing you, oh look, I've knitted 6 inches more on that sleeve, because I don't think you'd be very interested, to be truthful. I'll show you it when I've finished it. It's probably one that I won't pick up particularly until after the summer, just because it's quite a warm wool. Oh, one other thing I did finish was, after a good hunt around the shop, I can't actually find what I was going to show you, but I think Nick must have taken it to be photographed. But I'd finished the olive wrap in the stripes, which was one of the whips that I sort of asked your opinion on, so I will show you that next time. But yeah, I've just had a really good hunt around the shop and I can't find it, and I'm thinking Nick's probably taken it out on location to do some photography over the weekend. Watch this space, I will come back to you on that. But I have started a few sort of small projects. So when I was going to Spain, I thought, whoa, what can I take with me? I was sort of in that place where actually I'd finished everything I sort of felt like knitting. I still obviously got loads of whips to do, but sort of wanted a small project to take. So I went through my stash and I found some of this yarn. You can see it here, which is Yarn Tellier, and it is the Yarn Tellier cashmere lace. And I must have got this at a show some time ago, I found a little pattern card called the Lacy Scarf. I looked on her website and I can't see this anymore, but she may still take it to shows. Can't remember the name of the lady who owns Yarn Tellier. I think she's called Louise. But this is a simple little pattern. It is a sort of lace pattern which has 10 rows, quite a simple lace. The original pattern is 60 stitches, but I'd made a note on the pattern, cast on 38 stitches, which must have been what she told me on the stand, because I didn't want it too wide, and that's 38 stitches. So when I block it out, it's difficult to see, isn't it? When I block it out, it's still going to be quite wide. I think it's going to be about, what, 15 centimeters wide. So nice simple pattern. I've really enjoyed doing it. You knit it on quite large needles. The pattern suggests 6mm needles. I actually opted for 5mm because I didn't want it too open. But I think this is going to be, I just want it to be so that I can tie it and just have it sort of there. It's got a little picot edging on it as well. So yeah, it's a sweet little pattern, and it's one of those you think, oh, I'll just do 10 rows of that and just do another section of it, and it's sort of going quickly, and I don't think I've got to do an awful lot more to get it to the length that I want to. So I've enjoyed that. Also from our sock club, Linda, one of the ladies that is on part of our sock club, when we were having a knit and natter, she mentioned a construction sock that I've not tried before, and it is the Gudrun sock by Birke Fibres, B-I-R-K-E fibre. I'll put it up on the screen. And the construction is you don't do a heel flap and gusset. You start to do some rib, and then you create sort of a pocket of fabric in the middle by increasing out and then knitting a few rows straight and then decreasing back, sort of all encased by rib. The front is exactly the same. So for a beginner knitter on sock knitting, it's a really good option actually. I knitted this in a Blue Face Leicester sock yarn. It's a one-of-a-kind yarn by Yarny Octopus, who are local to me. They kind of gifted me this skein because they were playing with some colours to me around something else, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've knitted the smallest size. I would probably, so it was 56 stitch cast on a 2.25 needle, but I would probably actually, if I was knitting it for me again, I'd probably do the 60 stitch cast on, which is what I normally do. I don't know why I went down a size, but I just wanted it, I wasn't sure about the fit. I would say if you have sort of quite a high instep, I would probably just add some of the straight rows here. I think you do 10 of them here. I would add just a few more in there to create a little bit more depth, because it is quite a shallow heel. But yeah, simple construction, really enjoying it. Part way down the second one using magic loop. Not far to go before I start actually making that divide again. I thought I'd show you the latest sock club sock as well. Our sock club, as many of you know, is a subscription service. The sock boxes go out every 2 months. I think the next one's July, and I think we open for subscriptions in July. But this last sock was quite a special one, and it was called Glendurgan because we had the retreat coming up. And it was a design created by Helen Birch, who works with us on our sock club designs. Helen and I talk about the inspiration, she does the design, and then I knit it up and just tweak it to make sure that it's what we were thinking of together and it would work for our participants. But the Glendurgan sock, it's got this lovely seed pod sort of top to it and some seed stitching, just a heel flap. I'll show you the one that's not on the sock blocker, the heel flap and gusset as normal. And then we did an ergonomic toe. So the toes are sort of shaped to fit your foot. So this is obviously, this is the right side, and then the left side, if I didn't have it on the sock blocker, the left side sort of mirrors it for the other foot. A really comfortable construction. The yarn itself is from Hannah at the Camels Yarn, especially dyed for sock club. And again, it's a Blue Face Leicester base, and it is beautiful. And the yarn was called Glendurgan too. a number of people have asked me about whether the patterns from Sock Club are going to be available in pattern boxes. Part of being Sock Club is you get our exclusive patterns that nobody else can access for a period of time. So what we do plan to do is 12 months after we've released it to Sock Club is then we'll release them on Ravelry and create boxes with the original yarn in it for people to knit up. And we'll also be taking some to Ali Pali too. We're at Ali Pali with the Sock Club and our Knitters Flock, just talking about that. So if you are going to Ali Pali on the 10th to the 13th of October, come and say hi, because we'll have a stand there and we'll be talking, you know, all about the sort of those two different sort of things that we're doing. And you would be able to buy some of the off-the-shelf sock boxes as well with the pattern and the yarn in them, which we won't be releasing anywhere else. So that was that. And what else have I been knitting on? Nearly sort of covered everything. Another little thing, just because I had loads of scraps of yarn, is I'm knitting the Stella Quilt Cushion. I'm just looking at it, by Laura Penrose. Really enjoying the construction of this. Again, really easy knit. I've got loads of other colours to do the star. And those of you that are not familiar with it, this is the pattern. My voice is going all croaky now too. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm just plodding away at that, and again just picking up and doing a square, so it's sort of enjoying those sort of small sort of projects that I don't have to focus too much on. And then in the planning is and these is the Hebridean sea shawl, Hebridean sea shawl, which is by, I can't remember the lady's name, it is by Solvi Loss Evans, who owns Iola Yarns, and this is her yarn. So it's a beautiful yarn. These are the three colours. This is the original design, was done in these three colours. My printer has got like a yellow tone to it. So I'm really looking forward to knitting that up, and that's going to be the next thing that goes on my needles. I haven't got a sweater planned yet. I was going to knit some summer knits, but here in the UK the weather's been so blooming awful, and we're already into the middle of June, and you just think to yourself, what's the point of knitting a short sleeve top that I'm only going to be wearing 2-3 months, and I've got plenty of those already. So I'm sort of holding off doing a sweater at the moment. I may knit one. I may knit the new cardigan by Rebecca Crow, because I do like the look of that, but yeah, not convinced. The other thing I do want to find a project for, I found this in my stash, this beautiful yarn by Mothy and Squid, and probably want to do more than just socks with it. I do like a deep red. Maybe I need to put it with another colour, but anybody got any suggestions? That would be cool. So it was a quick run through today. As I said, I have put a little video together of the retreat. I hope you enjoy looking at that. In Falmouth today we have something called the International Sea Shanty Festival. It runs, well, it's Saturday today, but it runs over Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and we have something like 100 different sea shanty bands from around the world. They're just dotted all over the town, so wherever you go there is song and music from about midday till about midnight. So it's a lovely atmosphere. I'm actually working in the shop today. I hope it's a busy one. I hope we get lots of people coming in and talking about yarn and having a chat with me, and I'll have the doors open so I can hear the music. But yeah, the weather's a bit iffy still. They keep promising the better weather will come, but yeah, we'll be running out of time. But I hope you're having a great time wherever you are, and yeah, I look forward to catching up again with you soon, and hopefully the next few weeks won't be quite as busy as the last few, and I'll be able to do a little bit more knitting and get a little bit more content out. Bye for now.
that it? Is it? 3 Ursuline dresses.